All right. Hello and welcome to the Snowbirds meeting room. I'm Shadow Spectre 11, and today running a solo one um, and talk about some things that have popped up with CIG lately, and also some very interesting news uh, about the piracy, about the ship packs that were out for the Foundation Festival, the Free Fly, and most recently, the Arena Commander. Um, Hold on one second. Give me a second. Okay. The Arena Commander. Um, hey, Shaved, what's up, man? Um, the Arena Commander SCL that came up the other day. Um, I didn't watch it. I didn't have a whole lot of time, but I did catch some things out of it. And from what I gather, it was a really good episode, and I do want to get more into that at a later date. Um, but anyway, so to start off, I'm going to get into the CIG Turbulent thing. This is massive, and it's something that I feel that should have happened a long time ago, but they were contracted by CIG. And this, from what I gather, they have been with CIG. Turbulent has been with CIG from the beginning. So I'm going to look this over, and it starts off, we have some wonderful news and things of that nature. And if anybody has questions, comments, please feel free, talk to me. I am in a tribunal. How you doing? On the Snowbirds Warbirds server, there is a new chat room that I opened. It's the open Snowbirds meeting room chat. If you'd like to join, please feel free, and we can talk about some things while we're in here. So this recently just happened. On the 13th, they announced it. I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but after more than a decade of fruitful partnership and years working together in the trenches to build something the industry has never seen before, we decided that it's time for CIG and Turbulent to finally join forces. We entered into an agreement several months ago, but now have completed the arrangement to merge our companies, with Turbulent formally joining the CIG family this past week. So, the CTO and the CEO in 2012 launched the crowdfunding campaign, and they were in with CIG from the beginning. Okay, so to me, I think that was a very, very good move. But I just don't get why they didn't do this a long time ago. I know that Turbulent had other clients, and they were working on games for other people and things of that nature. So now this brings the employee level of CIG to 1100. if I'm correct. And that's something that pretty much needed to be done. It was a very, very controversial thing. Uh, they Turbulent has been doing a phenomenal job of bringing things in to the point where it was utterly fantastic. They kicked things up, doing things in a manner that was phenomenal. Um, the assets, the outposts, and things of that nature, they were dropping in pretty much record time, from what I gather. And I don't know what else to say. They've done marvelous jobs with things. Of course, we still have some issues, and we're always going to have issues until it's polished. But the one main thing that makes it better for the backers, for us, is that hopefully when this comes about, the backlog of things will start to diminish and become better. So I hope this is fruitful. The faster things come out, the better it is for all of us. And this is a very good thing. So, with this as well, if you have a question, please feel free, put it in the chat, or if you'd like, come into the Open Snowbird meeting room chat on the Snowbirds Warbirds channel, and we can talk, ask questions, get a little discussion going. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it to hear some of the things from everybody else as well, and not just from me. Okay. So they have been, this is the thing here where it says features such as the concierge, oops, didn't mean to do that, the concierge program, issue council, some of public facing elements that Turbulent built, and behind the scenes, okay, the telemetry system, the community hub, Galactopedia, the roadmap, and the award-winning star map, and Spectrum. All of that is Turbulent, and CIG. But now that they've merged, and hopefully things will get better. There have been a whole lot of problems with the back end lately, and this is where they need to really start to bring themselves more into the fold and start troubleshooting things much better, as far as I'm concerned. The launcher, the cloud services, the persistent entity streaming, and server mission, they're involved with that. And now that they're fully integrated, I think progress will be made much better, faster. Hopefully, we'll see. Only time will tell. So, I think it's a good thing. It'll be more for the better if things start to come faster. And as far as ships, I think the ships will come quicker for the ones that have been assigned to Turbulent. They do think they're rock stars. They push stuff out quickly and efficiently. So hopefully we'll see something a whole lot better. And I appreciate the likes and the views. Thank you very much. So I'm going to go to another subject. I think this has been pretty much run into the ground. Not saying that it's bad, but hopefully this will get better and we'll go a little farther. Okay, so let's go back. And back again. Okay, Foundation Festival. Now, I talked about this last week, and I got some insight from people about this. And we all know that Foundation Festival is running. I've been doing some guide sessions with people and making, people getting the rewards and things of that nature. And it's been good. And we are still in the free fly. It will end tomorrow. And the servers have been pretty rough and they've been janky and things of that nature. But there has been a lot of controversy and I could say negativity toward this one thing that is bothering a lot of people. So we've got our careers, okay? Okay, a ship pack includes medical career kit. The kits are really, they're good. Don't get me wrong, they're good. But we don't know, and I haven't seen anything to where people are saying that CIG isn't telling new players about the possibility of losing your equipment those packs should be labeled regarding loss of items. Yes. Because when you go, it just should, you have to, when you're a new player, right, you do the new player experience, okay? They give you some armor, they give you, you have to buy helmet, you have to buy weapons and things of that nature. That part of the new player experience needs some work. We all know this because there's certain things that the new player should have before they leave Area 18. Okay. Here you see this plus medical career kit, right? So it includes a free kit. It has armor and things like that. Okay? But they don't say anything about if you lose, if you die. In new player experience, there have been a few people that were taken out doing the new player experience, and they lost the items that they had, that they were given. If they got to the zone where the armistice zone and they were killed or something like that, you still get your stuff back. But with this and with the accidents that could happen, your ship could blow, or something like that, it is detrimental to the player right off the bat, because you've lost everything. You've lost everything. You get your ship back, but you don't have your armor. So then you've got to wait till the next patch for it to come, and that's a bit rough. Okay, I'm all for CIG making money. Okay, to bring new players in, getting their revenue for things that they need. They need money, of course. They're in the business for making money, and it needs to be done. But you have to let new players know right off the bat that if you're in a situation that you're out of an armistice zone, you die, you will lose your equipment until the next patch. Okay? And there's been a whole lot of things about this for a long time. Subscriber items being lost, you have to wait till the next patch. And they really need to do something about this to make it much better for everybody else. For everybody. Because a lot of players, they wanna wear their stuff and things like that, but you end up losing it, and you have to wait. There is no more character reset. The reset is gone, so you can't get your stuff back until the next patch. There's only character repair that fixes the character. That's it, and it works well. I mean, it's not perfect. I'm not saying it is, but it is what it is. It is what we have at the moment. So you've got these packs, and then you go to mining. Okay, you've got another pack. Prospector. That's the war bond that I'm looking up. And here you have another set of armor. Okay? And it's all good. There's nothing wrong with it. But you have to make sure that people know that you could lose these items. I don't think it's a bad thing that they did this. They just got to be a little bit more open to the new player of the risk you take once you leave the spaceport or the station, wherever you're flying to. That once you're out there, if you die, you lose that stuff until the next patch. And it's important that they know. It's important for the new players. Okay, so you have salvage. Alright? Same thing. You got your packs. It's a pretty decent price. War bond, new cash. The vulture by itself is $175. Okay? And here, FPS combat. Okay? Valkyrie. Good ship. I enjoy flying it. It's very versatile in what it does and what it specifies. But, same thing. Combat career kit. Let's take a little bit more of a look at it. Okay? Okay, you get a Stonson undersuit, you get a PR4, P4AR, Gemini pistol, undersuit, Okay, no backpack. Okay, backpack you need right off the bat, but we'll go into that later. 350 war bond, and the ship standalone 375. Okay, but you get the kit. Okay, same thing. If you die, you lose it until the next patch. And cargo, same thing. There it is. War bond, not bad. That's not bad at all. Ship by itself, $10 more. Good pack that comes with it. Okay. And you get a backpack with this one. It's not a bad thing. I think it's good. But $10, that's not a bad snag. Okay. Freelancer. Good starting cargo ship. Not gonna knock it. It's pretty tough. 66 units. It's not bad. Start off with that. But you got to make sure that they know that this is something that needs to be addressed. Okay, so the Foundation Festival is still on, and for those that have not done this, I've already worked with some people, like I said before, and did the guide system rewards, and I've gotten them. There's certain things that I don't get, and we'll take a look at this real quick. There's certain things that I don't get. Okay. These right here, I only get these as the guide. I get the beanie, the cap, and things of that nature. These are what the recruits get. Okay, so they get a P4 AR, they get a pistol, and they get a multi-tool set. Okay, with all the attachments. That's a cool thing. Okay, I can't say anything bad about that. I think it's good. For those that have done these with me, I've enjoyed doing them. I do love helping people that are new to the game, and anytime, feel free, hit me up on the Snowbirds, on the Snowbirds Warbird site or Discord, and let me know when you want to do it, and we can go and knock it out. Okay? It's all cool. Alright, so I just feel that they really need to be more transparent about what happens when you die. For new players, they need to know this right off the bat. You have the dangers and things of that nature. It's out there. Okay? So, the next thing that I want to discuss, and hopefully if people want to get in, talk about it, please feel free. One of the controversial things about SC, and this is always going to be, is the line between piracy and griefing. Like I said last week when I was doing an AMA, there's a difference between piracy and griefers. Griefers just come out and blast you for the fun of it. They don't care about the cargo. They don't care about anything else. They just take you out. Piracy is a different thing. Piracy is a game loop that is in the game. It is not, how can I put it? It is not an actual career. It is a game loop though. And pirates, they do it for the profit. They do not do it for just killing players for the heck of it. And please feel free to put something in the comments to let me know what you think in the chat. And I've worked with pirates, okay? I've worked with them. They've shown me some things. They've shown me more in depth about what they do and how and what motivates them. And you know what? It's a big gap between piracy and griefing. Massive gap. And it doesn't look like it is, but it's there. And if I was a player that was into just wiping people out, or, you know, just to do things to do that, because I'm not into that, I agree, griefers are in their own category. Yeah, they are. And to be totally fair and honest, if I was going to do a game loop where I was going to be, you know, an unlawful player, I would pick the piracy over the griefing. I would pick piracy any day. So, but to be fair, Shadow doesn't do that. Shadow's not into that, and neither are the Snowbirds or the Warbirds. Okay? But if I was going to go that route, I would be a pirate than just going around blasting people for the heck of it. Okay? Not into it. Not into piracy either, but just saying. And that's something that people need to really think about when they're doing this. They really need to think about it. Okay. So, pardon me, my chair just really gives me a hard time. I will be working on a new overlay I have to get with my friend Everett and make a new overlay for the Snowbirds meeting room when I do solo stuff. So bear with me. I'm not artist or anything like that, so I need some help with it. But anyway, the next big thing that hit this week was the Arena Commander Reborn Part 3. Hey, Simidot, how you doing, man? The Arena Commander SCO. That was huge. It was a big one. And I was watching it. Excuse me if I look it up really quickly. I'm going to run a little bit of this. I didn't see all of it. I got 13 minutes into it today. But there's some things here that really needed to be brought out. And hold on one second.
Korean Eagle 1 and says, any updates on private lobbies? I didn't know that was going to be.
This is a big
Oh
one.
yeah, well, and I mean, private lobbies is something that really hurt my heart. From the standpoint of I was running the team when we had to remove them. Was the thing, and it wasn't something that we actually removed. It was we had changed over some details that Duncan will probably get into, some details with the lobby system, so that we couldn't continue to support the private matches. Now, it was always the thing was next quarter we'll bring it back, next quarter we'll bring it back, next quarter we'll bring it back, and it was always something got the resource got taken, something got missed or whatever. So finally, with a little bit of collaboration with our new friends at Turbulent. We've been able to bring back online private lobbies. So, Duncan, do you want to talk any more about that? Maybe some details over why it went away?
Okay. That is something that everybody's been waiting for in Arena Commander. So, it's coming in 320. It's coming. This 320 is mostly about the whole C, Arena Commander. Those two things are massive. And forgive me about the you can't see anything in chat in the overlay, because this one I have to like I said, I'm using a different setup because I'm running solo, and I wanted to have a little color with what's going on with the Snowbirds meeting room. But like I said, I will get everything straightened out. It's going to take me a little bit of time, but if we all know and we're all waiting for this to happen, and I am very excited for Arena Commander to come into 320. I didn't get into it recently. I didn't get into it before, but I've gotten into it recently in the past month, 2 months or so, playing it weekly. I've gone in there and done some things by myself. And I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it. It's a little bit janky right now until we get 320 and go from there. But from what I've played, and I just do the flying stuff. I'm not really into Star Marine. But I enjoyed helping people in Vandu Swarm and things like that. I have done some free flights to get used to the ship that I'm flying. It's just so janky that you can't get the right ship that you want until 320 comes out. And I hope that really comes to fruition. Hopefully it's a great update that gets people playing. Agreed. I enjoy going into Arena Commander and playing with the Warbirds and the Snowbirds. I have a good time with that. And when people need help getting the aggressor stuff, and they get the option to be able to get the ships and things of that nature, it makes me feel good that they've accomplished it, and I enjoy doing it. And I made a specific day to do that, so I may change it a little bit, but when 320 drops, it's going to be a constant thing for my channel. And I hope everybody will enjoy it, because I'm excited, and I hope to see more things come about with it when it does hit. So back to this with the private lobby.
Yeah, so it went away essentially because we did that big refactor where we got the friends and party systems to the new system that we've got that you're using in PU now, and that just simply wasn't compatible with what we had in Arena Commander. So the option at the time was we delay this or we shut down private lobbies for now and we revisit it for the next thing. And as Sean says, priorities got shifted. People get moved on to different things, and it just kept getting pushed out. Now, thankfully, we're working on it, and we didn't want to just bring them back, right? We want to do better with them. We want to give more. So private lobbies aren't called private lobbies anymore. They're called custom matches, right? And custom matches leans into, you'll be able to customize more things about it. And we've got so much more planned for it. For now, we're getting what was old back with private lobbies, but we've got so many ideas, so much requests from the community for what we can add there as well.
And are these?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are these custom matches in Alpha 320?
Yes.
What were you gonna say?
Yeah, there's
the reason we paused is it's coming in literally as we speak.
Yeah,
right? That's why both of us went. Well,
actively being worked on
checks
with
in
the highest priority.
Checks in the mail, but it's not quite that bad.
Right. So the goal is for the custom matches to be part of Alpha 320.
Yeah, we were pushing really, really hard for that. The next update from Arena Commander had to have that back in. We know how much the community wants it. We know how much the devs even want it. I mean, for a bunch of different reasons anyways, but being able to set up private matches for the community is imperative. So
That is so important. That is one of the pivotal things about Arena Commander is getting the private matches. I can't wait for that. Okay? Because there's so many times that my team, they want to challenge each other. And with this, that makes it a much better scenario for everybody that is going to be playing. I can't wait for that. Okay? I thought when I heard it, it was like pivotal, and I was like, yes, they're doing it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and a little bit more into this.
Next question is from Shafto. Will organizations be able to arrange for two opposing teams of predetermined members to play against one another without random players?
do you want to take that one, Duncan?
Yeah, so this leans into the whole we want to do better with the private matches, right? So the almost obvious thing is letting you arrange your teams beforehand. So we've got the idea of you've got a party leader, you've got moderators that can help, switch people between teams and whatever. And then you've obviously got the members that join. And then for right now, we've got that team organization. And we're hoping to get some custom settings in and expand upon that. But yeah, bringing back org content to private matches is such a big thing for us because we knew how much orgs used it. We saw the weekly posts on Spectrum, like, hey, we're running an org event, who wants to join? And as soon as the private lobbies went down, that went away, and I get pinged constantly about, hey, when are we getting them back for that specific use? And we really want to start accommodating that again.
Yeah, because basically the competitive scene basically shut down without private matches, without being able to customize the match parameters, and it's something that we always wanted to be able to have within AC, because ultimately, the PU is a multiplayer experience. AC is, play best in multiplayer with friends, and we want that to be easy as possible. And honestly, be able to set up your own little scenarios. I think that's really cool.
That's a good point. And right now, AC is very, very clunky, as we all know. Getting a ship is very difficult. The ship that you want is very difficult. It doesn't set up right. And those who have been with me know that I have gone into a ship, right? Picked my ship and ended up in the Argo cargo, or ended up in the C8R, Okay, so it all depends. It all depends. And I was more than pleased when I heard this, that they're going to fix this and get it correct. Okay? Yes, Shane, you see me in the Argo Cargo. And somebody said if I won the Argo Cargo in the Argo Cargo one of those scenarios, they would give me a ship. Oh my god, that was funny. But anyway, once it gets better, it will be funny. It will be good, and can't wait for it. I'm gonna go ahead with this a little bit more.
This next question is from Hellring? I don't know. A question after my own proclivities. Will there be a rank system so I don't have to play against better players?
So there's actually a lot to this question. Now, right now, so you know, behind the scenes, there is a ranking. And behind the scenes, it works here and there, but it's not as simple as just a single value. We've come a long way in matchmakers in the game industry overall, where it's got to be region dependent, it's got to be skill dependent, it's got to be time dependent. There's so many different angles of matchmaking. So, sort of with that, Duncan, do you want to talk a little bit about what we're gonna do for these guys?
Yeah, so as you guys know, we have the leaderboards that are currently online, and they haven't really been representative of, well, leaderboards for a while now. The algorithm behind them broke. People have found many exploits behind those leaderboards. So we want to completely rework those at the same time as doing this proper matchmaking. And that matchmaking is the thing that will have to come later, because it needs more help from Turbulent on the online side. But the competitive community in Arena Commander and Star Marine is so passionate, I'll say, about leaderboards and that matchmaking behind it. And we really want to hone in on that, and especially push Squadron Battle and Duel to be our primary competitive modes, because we think those better reflect those as well.
Okay, question to the chat. How many of you want Squadron Battle, where you pit maybe 8 people against 8 people and have an event that is specifically for that? Because I know in my organization that is something that yeah, I know in my organization that's something that everybody wants to do and try. Also, there's lots of events, the more the merrier. I agree. And we did an event yesterday, and everybody knows that I don't do this very often. Okay, we, the Snowbirds and the Warbirds, work together. Great practice at teamwork as well. Yes. Yesterday we did an event. We went to Ghost Hollow and held it for how many hours did we do it, Shaved? It was like maybe 2-3 hours that we held Ghost Hollow, and that was my 400th video. Ghost Hollow was fire. 2 to 3 hours. Yeah. It was a lot of fun, but the thing was the teamwork that was involved to get to that point. The Warbirds went in, did their job, and then the Snowbirds brought in the assets for the Warbirds to use. And that was something that I've always wanted to do and see, and it came to fruition on my 400th video, and it just made my day. I had a crappy day first part of the morning. I had a crappy day, and then when we did this, it made everything 100 times better. It was a lot of fun, and we're going to do it again. We're going to do something like that again. And I appreciate everybody that came and did it with me, and we had a great time. So, just saying, here, I'm going to get back into this.
Super Sanka, 45 days says, with all the new modes, are there any excellent unlockables like in Pirates?
Yeah, so as you know, we have unlockable for Vandal Swarm. It's you complete it, you get a Spectrum badge, but you also unlock the pledge store page for the glaive. Pirate Swarm, it's the same deal, but you get the Pirate Cutlass and the Pirate Gladius. We're going to keep those as rewards, but the badges themselves, as Tasha, has been updated, so you'll get a new Spectrum badge for those. But we've also added some more win condition badges in there. So as you know, Tank Royale and Team Tank Battle are coming in 320. If you win one of those matches as the highest scoring player, you'll get a reward, which is a Spectrum badge. And some of the other new game modes, including Gun Rush, will have those as well.
Are you leaving room for future things, like obviously the other modes get access to the pirate versions of the ships? We're leaving room for future promotions or future things that you conceivably added to this.
Yeah, so we have a lot of ideas. We had a brainstorm session, right, where we had so many ideas of different ways to reward people, and right now we're going with the simple wins. So we're keeping it simple with Spectrum badges because they're fairly easy to get, but we've got some more challenging, I'll say, challenges coming up, which we're hoping will have better rewards. It's more than just Spectrum badge. We're talking with PU teams, the Spectrum teams, and seeing what more we can give that's got a little bit more flair to it, and even within Arena Commander itself, like, we want to reward people with stuff in-house to Arena Commander. So Arena Commander actually supports skins and all this stuff, so we're hoping to get those as rewards eventually.
Okay, we all know that we've gotten together and we've done the Vandu Swarm and the Pirate Swarm and things of that nature. With this, they're adding more to it, and that's going to be even better for players that have not done them. I know, and there's some of my org mates that have gone and done this, have helped people get to that point, and they had a lot of fun. We got together, we went in and did it, and we've helped quite a few players with that. And I enjoyed them. I had a great time doing them. And I know that some of the other people that really enjoyed it as well. They got the rewards, the opening of the skins, or not skins, the ships that are there and things of that nature. So it was fun. I hope everybody enjoyed that, because that is something that I'm going to keep in the channel schedule all the time. So when the new Arena Commander comes, that's one thing that we're going to be doing weekly, is going into AC, learning more about it, and doing those events. Now, the master modes, when that comes up as a test, I'm going to get into that. But when the PTU opens up with where we can get in first wave, and hopefully it is stable and works well. I will be going in there a lot. Just letting everybody know, I will be going in there a lot, like I've always done. Testing things out, looking at them, reporting back to my org that can't get in on the first wave, and we go from there. So just giving everybody a heads up, I will be doing a lot of that before 320 drops to the PU. I will be popping in and out between the PU and the PTU. So just giving you guys a heads up, I will be in there. Okay?
Yeah, so just to piggyback off that, like, you know, the questions in regards to some of the matchmaking, ELO ranking, as well as this are all related. What this has to do is some level of progression within Arena Commander, a reason to play this. And you know, a lot about this generation of gaming or before, we kind of need some progression. You need some level of a little bit of persistence and a little bit of progression within each one of your game modes, so that there's, you know, you kind of feel like the reason to keep logging in and to keep playing it. And we want to have all of those things within Arena Commander, and it's nice because we have an entire game of content to pull from. And a lot of these are the same conversations that we had during times of you know, when Firesprite was working on Arena Commander. It was all the same sort of progression that we'd like to still put in place here, but we've got to get all the fundamentals, just like we talked about, in place first, which is the badges, the experimental modes, and private matches. And now that we've got that kind of stuff, now we start making the more reasons for the players to be there, and a little bit more driving the engagement, if that makes some sense.
I think it would be a pretty obvious choice to have like a special paint or whatnot that says I kicked ass in Arena Commander, and you know, you get the that.
Well, it's even further because what Chris wants, and definitely something we've talked about on length before, is the connection between Arena Commander and the persistent universe. Because for a long time, right, we've had the sim pods. The sim pods were the hangers. We want them in the persistent universe. We want it so that they can go from persistent universe, jump in a sim pod, be in Arena Commander. You're in this, you know, the simulation that we talk about all the time. But we don't want that to be meaningless. We don't want you just to leave and go to a different sort of game. Why not be progressing Arena Commander reputation? Why not be progressing some level of persistency within the PU, so that all the stuff you're doing in Arena Commander is actually benefiting you in the PU, or vice versa? What about things happening in the PU benefiting you in Arena Commander? What about ships you own benefiting you in Arena Commander? So there's so many layers of connection that can be made once that progression and persistence, I guess, I hate using the word persistence, but once some score persistence is in place, because the persistence I'm talking about is not the persistent universe. This is just keeping a score.
Okay. That is something that I agree with. That definitely it's something that should be there. Going into Arena Commander for a purpose, you know, and it being both in the PU and AC, that's going to benefit you in both ways. I would love to get into Arena Commander through the PU and play it there in the sim pods. I've heard of it before, and I've never experienced it. A lot of the older players probably did. I don't know for sure, but it's something that is definitely makes me hyped for it. I'm going to keep my expectations low, just like I try to tell everybody to keep your expectations at a minimum on certain things. Okay? But I'm excited. Looking forward to it for sure. Oh yeah, me too. I can't wait.
Hey Nash, I'm ready to pitch you on my last Starfighter game. You know, the faction that uses the game to find recruits, you know, for the persistent universe. There's a whole last Starfighter thing. We'll talk afterwards.
Well, hey, with custom games, with custom modes, you can make it yourself. That's the beauty of it, right? So,
here's a big one. Will there be a spectator mode for streamers or casters to hold private competitions?
yes.
Nice.
I want to make that very clear that yes, we do
Yes. That I'm excited for.
want spectator modes, and I'm gonna go off on a little bit of a diatribe as I do, because spectators to me in Star Citizen and in Arena Commander itself are more like newscasters is what I always saw this as. Like, always saw this as a newscaster role, as a reputation or something you could do where, there was this idea of always being able to record things that were happening in the Precision universe. And I think you've heard this pitch from me before, Jared, where you would go in and as a newscaster, you'd be, you'd probably want to put press on the side of your ship and all these kind of things, but it'd be dangerous to be capturing battles and things like this that were going on. So I like the idea of spectators actually being a real thing within Star Citizen, but within Arena Commander, I think the little more classic game sort of standpoint makes a lot of sense. Just to be able to, especially during the race, like during qualifying or whatever, you want to be able to spectate and see what's going on. Especially now, oh man, with these new racetracks and watching some of the Evocati people play them, yeah, you want to be able to spectate these guys because they're freaking good, really good.
All right. So one of the big aspects of Arena Commander 320 is that it also incorporates Star Marine, bringing it into the fold under one, unified umbrella. So we have a couple Star Marine questions here. Right off the bat, this has always been a big one. Chateau again, get that look at, man. Will players be able to save loadouts to choose from quickly in the new Star Marine?
Yeah, I'll take this one. So, as you might have read in monthly reports and in ISC, we're introducing the spawn screen to pretty much every game mode. The first step of that is, just getting a simple spawn screen with a deploy button, right? The second step is getting selection of your loadout, that being a different ship or a different kind of loadout. As you know, we've got, I think, 3 different loadouts at the moment. You've got both control ones and elimination. And then step 3, I think we're on step 3, yeah, is the customization. The customization of those loadouts, right? That's a very complex system we're dealing with there when we're customizing things. So FPS is a little bit better for us. That's pretty simple. You've got your armor PCs, you've got your weapons, you've got your consumables. For 320, we're simplifying it down. Unfortunately, we haven't
guide sessions later on today
for 320, but we're wanting to make the Flash experience in the front end better because that UI is not the best to deal with. But instead of having so many tabs and so much to change all those pieces, now it's just you just change your armor set and your weapons. But eventually we want all that customization to be part of the spawn screen itself, so you can change everything on the fly. And the same with vehicles, but vehicles will of course come a lot later down the line because that is a far more complex thing than FPS, where ships have so many different variations of loadouts, so that's going to take a little bit longer. But yeah, we definitely want to get all that in game, so it's a far better experience. You switching on the fly, customizing on the fly, like you're used to in modern games nowadays, right? We just have to catch up to that, and hopefully it's not too far after 320 for that.
While we're on Star Marine, Hoffman wants to know how likely we are to see medical gameplay added to the team modes for Star Marine.
Ooh. That's a good question.
Very likely. I love the medical gameplay that has been being developed for Squadron 42, and we're probably bound to Squadron 42 bringing online their medical gameplay first before that comes into AC. But as soon as it is, I mean, there's game modes that make a lot of sense to have our medical game.
Yeah. Another part of that customization I was talking about earlier is we've actually added the utility slot is now actually a utility slot, whereas before you were bound to it was a knife, which isn't really utility, but now you can bring in your multi-tool or your med gun in there. So we're hoping to expand that in the future. It's just right now, like as you know, Star Marine doesn't have the down state. We have that disabled because it just doesn't work for fast-paced game modes that we have right now. But maybe as we explore different things in the future, we'll use experimental modes, for example, to test medical gameplay and see how it suits the current game modes and the future game modes we work on.
For Star Marine, this is from Doldol. For Star Marine, what are the plans to address the animation beast and netcode issues? The lag between client and system agreements, teleports.
Well, I guess this is kind of a performance question, really, right? It's a question of networking and performance overall, and it's a great question because this is the bread and butter to what the challenges to making this game always are and always have been. I do want to mention that it was recent. Duncan had actually sent me a streamer at one point that was beside himself with the frame rate that he had. Who was the streamer, Duncan?
Lyric. He just got off playing the PU, went to Star Marine, and he was like, why is the FPS so high?
Right, and it was the Good Doctor, which is typically like the heavier of all the maps anyways. But yeah, he was running at like 120 frames, 140.
Wow. 120 frames, 140? Holy crap.
Just a ridiculous frame rate in comparison to, what a lot of people will report from the game. So, to answer the actual question, though, is it's already improved. One of the big things that has actually changed was that we've been experimenting with these 144 hertz servers, just at a way faster update rate that's been going on. There's been a couple other tests that actually Duncan's actually done just himself. Do you want to talk about some of those ones? The large-scale player tests?
Yeah, so we noticed that the players were kind of paying more attention to network and looking at Star Marine for how the networking handles on that, because you'd see that clip, for example, of Lyric, and the game is running really smooth and great, but then he encounters other players and they're like desyncing, they're jumping back and forth, they're like doing all this weird network related issues, and that kind of caught our attention, as well as the player posts about it, and we're like, what can we do to improve this, right? So I literally just jumped in to our servers, because I noticed that our servers always run at 30 FPS. I've never seen it drop below. So I was like, I wonder what we can do here. So I went in.
Arena Commander. I was going to say the same thing.
the Arena Commander and Star Marine servers.
Not the Bunty do not represent those of Cloud Imperium Games, Firepower Space Industries, or its subsidiaries.
Anything I talk about is Arena Commander. It's all I know. Yeah. So I jumped in and I spawned 300 Vandal, right? And the client obviously died, but the servers totally fine. I think they were running at 60 FPS in the end after all 300 had spawned. So our servers in Arena Commander are really robust, and that's led to some experimentation, like Sean hinted at there. We're experimenting with 144 hertz servers now and seeing where we can go with that. There's a bunch of refactors associated with it. It's sadly not a case, as I was hoping to just unlock that cap and see a performance increase. There's a couple refactors which we need to do to accommodate that increase, but I'm hoping that we see some network improvements, because I think that's our but like the major hurdle that we've got now in terms of Star Marine performance, and the game runs amazing on like we were saying, 120 FPS is average now, but the network issues are glaring because of that.
This is a good time to remind everybody that we are talking about Arena Commander in Star Citizen Alpha 320, and the shorthands and whatnot, the references we'll be using are all exclusively to the Arena Commander Star Marine environments, just in case anybody wants to take these things out of context and run with it already. From the beginning of time, from the beginning of all discussions on Star Marine and stuff, Chris, everybody has talked about this idea of having FPS fights, boarding actions aboard an Idris or a Javelin, a capital ship infiltration FPS experience in this kind of thing. Johnny is back with a question asking just that. Anything you can tell us about that those capital ship infiltration things that we've been discussing on and off of the Arena Commander for years?
Now that will be interesting. Going on a cap, a javelin or an Idris, a boarding action. I think that would be way cool. And I know there's a lot of people that, especially in the chat right now, that would definitely be in on that. And I am going to engineer an event where I'm going to have two Carracks, one the aggressor and two aggressors going at each other. Okay, once I work out the details, and this idea came up from my partner and co-founder of the Snowbirds, Magic M. And we would have a Carrack 1, right? And then we'd have the other Carrack. You set your spawn points in those Carracks, right? And when that happens, you will go and board the other Carrack. You will encounter people in space. Okay, you got to make sure you have enough equipment to go against this, and this could go on for hours. But you will have first person combat in EVA. Okay, get to the other ship and take the ship. Okay, if you die, right, you spawn back at your spawn point, right? Your ship could have been boarded at that time. You have to retake your ship before you can head over to the opposing ship. It could take hours, but we'll figure it out. That is something that I tried it the other day or last week sometime. And there's some flaws in what I came up with because I did it quick and on the fly. But I'm going to talk to the team. We'll get together and we'll figure it out. And we're going to do that event. So, just saying, it's something that's in the works.
Yes. Chris wants this so badly, and this is a mode that we've really got to get done. And I want to get one thing done first, and then we will be getting into something like this that has PvE. Because he wants to capture the interest. We want a combined thing that is, it's the experience everybody wants. You know, you start off on a fleet battle, and you end up, trying to take over a caption. You're assaulting the Idris. You're taking over a Bengal. You're whatever it is, an assault on a huge capital ship that actually doesn't just happen outside, is a super fun experience, I think. And that's what a lot of people are looking for. And now, with experimental modes set up in the way that we are, it's very, very easy for us to run and try out different modes that could be as complex as this. We wanted to start easy, and we did, with sort of single weapon elimination type stuff, Talk Royale stuff, and even gun game, but there's no saying that more complex experimental modes aren't on the horizon.
There we go. He said it. So it's coming. It's coming.
I'm just going to combine a couple of these questions here into one. A lot of folks want to know, like, what the direction is as far as maps. Obviously, Arena Commander got several new maps he's getting several new maps with 320. Some brand new, like the new versions of the new Horizon Speedways and stuff. Some imported from the PU. As far as the Star Marine experience goes, have we begun developing any new strictly FPS maps that are original and unique to Star Marine?
Yeah, so we obviously have our classic maps there, and we've got Echo 11 that we've made a variant of for 320. You know, as Sean said, starting small for now, but we're looking at the PU essentially for more locations that we can take stuff. Because as we touched on IC, the PU has countless awesome locations that we can take and get into Star Marine in our FPS modes, so you can practice there. And we've been talking with the location teams, and they're so excited to work with us to get their locations into Star Marine and see where we can take that. Now, another aspect of that is I saw so many requests for like a practice mode, right, for FPS. We have free flight for your ships, but for FPS there hasn't really been anything. You can get out your seats in free flight, but all you have is the basic loadout with a pistol. Part of our spawning refactor and the spawn screen refactor is we're actually getting that loadout that you can use in FPS modes into free flight as well. So eventually that will become the primary. Sorry, can't say words. That's going to be the place where we do FPS practice as well. But yeah, we're like FPS is my preference. I'm no good at spaceship fighting. I love FPS, so I'm very excited to see all the locations that we can bring into Star Marine and get more variety of maps there.
The question was actually about unique maps to Star Marine, like Good Doctor, Echo 11 locations that don't exist in the PU. Are there any plans? Is any work ahead for maps unique just to Star Marine?
No, no uncertain terms. Not really. This is on purpose, though. This is to keep the team small. Well, to keep the team small. The team has always been small and will continue to be small. We don't want to hire up or form an art team just specifically for Star Marine or FPS levels. We have a huge art department within Star Citizen and within Squadron 42, and it feels like we should be able to piggyback off that large department. Now, does that mean we pull resources from Squadron or from Star Citizen? Not necessarily. Not if we don't have to. And that's why right now there's no plans really to pull any significant amount of resources from either one of those teams for making something that is unique just to Star Marine. What the team is comprised of is designers, engineers, and tech artists. So that is what we have, and we will continue to do things that make sense with the team that we have.
It's work smarter, not harder. It's utilize
kind of it,
all
yeah.
the art that's already being created by all these other teams for the
Yep.
PU, and find ways to repurpose that into Star Marine. And then Star Marine really does fill its role as a simulation within the persistent universe.
Exactly.
So there we go. They're not going to add, they're going to take assets that they already have and bring that into AC, which I think it's good. There's some other things that I would love to see, some more custom maps, and then we as players set our own scenarios. That I enjoy doing stuff like that. But if anybody has any questions, thoughts, those are some of the features and things that I really want to see in AC. I'm still going to go through this again to get more of a gist of what else they said. I've only been in this half hour, and I'm an hour and 14 minutes into this Snowbirds meeting room. But like I say, I hope to get everything back together and work on this with Voidwalker Joe and Zook and Mike, and get their thoughts on it, get their ideas, their comments on the SCL, and go from there. But I'm gonna close this one. I hope you all enjoyed it. Like I say, next Sunday I will be back in the Snowbirds meeting room, and hopefully get some more questions, get some people into the guests, and actually talk to other players. Simidot, you are more than welcome to jump in anytime. Please feel free. Tribunal, same for you, and to my organization, and to all of the viewers that have subscribed to the Snowbirds meeting room, and to my main channel. Feel free. I will be, there's times when I know that we're going to have it where it's locked off for guests and things like that, but I'm going to make sure that I have an open channel for people to get in and be able to talk about their experiences in gameplay, their thoughts on things, and this is what I created the Snowbirds meeting room for. Okay? So, I hope you all enjoyed it. I will be seeing you later today. I will be running guide sessions with players that need help in game. And Simidot, let me know when you're ready. Just shoot me a message, and we'll get together. And if you don't mind streaming it, you can stream it as well, and we can do a collab that way. All right? So, and same for you, Tribunal. Anytime you want to do a collab, just let me know, and we'll hook it up. So, I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Snowbirds Meeting Room, and everybody take care. I will see you soon. It's Shadow Spectre 11 signing out. Have a good one.